Florida, home to endless beaches, Mickey Mouse, no income tax, and an unemployment rate below the national average. It's a fascinating electorate made up of an increasing number of retirees who lean more and more to the right, and an influx of Puerto Ricans who lean left. Whichever side garners more support gets a critical jackpot, 29 electoral votes. You've heard the candidates courting retirees here. Why? Because Florida has the greatest percentage of seniors of any state in the country, and seniors vote in big numbers. Conway Cafe in East Orlando is where these men meet every Thursday.
They treat us real good. We've been coming here for years. The waitresses are really nice.
What was once a reliably blue voting bloc is no more. Seniors, specifically white seniors, have been moving more and more to the right in the last decade.
Yeah, I canceled the Orlando newspaper because they slant the news a lot. I just quit reading it. I just quit getting it. But my neighbor also stopped his.
They're all voting, they say, for Donald Trump.
I think the economy needs some jump starting real bad.
A lot of these disasters, people are talking about, well, if he gets here, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen. That's just, it's not going to happen,
The worst thing about our country is so divided now. It's not like it was before.
They've lived their American dream.
We've been very fortunate.
Yeah, I don't have any complaints at all.
But what about their children and grandchildren?
My 3-year-old grandson would be able to figure that out, no problem. Might be a little tougher for them. I was high school education was all I had, and I got by just fine. I don't know if that's going to be available for them.
I think we mostly feel it's not so much that we're real crazy about Donald Trump, but most of us want to change.
And that's the common thread among many of the seniors we met in Florida. There's a sense that the country is headed in the wrong direction. Even the well-off seniors in this gated community are anxious.
A lot of countries are nipping at our heels.
We met these neighbors in Sarasota. Their dissatisfaction with what they see as the status quo runs deep.
She has talked about increasing the amount of immigration. That's stunning that we would allow that many people to come in. And of course you've got Obama now who wants to give them voting rights and everything else. That will ensure that we will continue to have a liberal culture forever.
I'm really concerned about the education of the children because I do think that the liberals have a monopoly on education right now.
Who is the visionary? Obama. President Obama was a visionary. The problem is he wasn't a leader. There's only one candidate that fits that role. That's Trump. And I have no compunction about it.
We're coming out of this recession slower than we have in previous recessions.
That is true.
I would strongly disagree with the assumption we're better off now than we were 7 to 8 years ago. Strongly.
The thing is, by almost all measures, the U.S. economy has improved significantly in the last 8 years. Unemployment is half of what it was in 2009, and the stock market has almost tripled from its lows that same year. But it's the national debt that really troubles these voters.
I think it really kind of scares us that we're staring at $20 trillion in debt, not knowing how our grandchildren will repay it.
As for Trump's style,
I frankly was rather appalled at Trump initially. I think his personality is awful, and I never, ever could vote for Hillary. So it will be Trump.
This Trump volunteer calling attention to what she believes is hidden Trump support.
When you talk to women, they're not out in the public telling you they're for Trump. They're afraid. People are afraid in this era. And why? Because that's the politically correct nonsense. But once they see a shirt or they see me and I start talking, right away they go, I can't tell anybody.
While Trump may have the support of many seniors, Clinton has her own growing demographic here. Puerto Ricans. There are, by some estimates, 100,000 more Puerto Ricans in Florida now than there were for the 2012 election.
Well, things in Puerto Rico are not that great. so I decided to move here.
Noel Miranda is studying computer programming, but he's working in a pizza shop until he can save up enough to finish college.
In Puerto Rico, since you can't vote for the president, it's something that has bothered us for a long time, Hillary Clinton, because I definitely don't want to see Donald Trump as president. We're going to give him nuclear codes and make him the commander-in-chief of our armed forces. I think that will be unacceptable.
I feel Hillary is definitely going to be the one for us.
I always like I don't like Donald Trump.
You don't like Donald Trump? I believe she stands, 100% behind the Latino community.
Ephraim Maldonado moved to Florida from New York and believes the American dream is alive.
We purchased our home and beautiful house, coming from an apartment to a 3-bedroom house, 2 bathrooms, in-ground pool. So that's the American dream, yes.
And he's more optimistic than the seniors we met about his children's future.
Older ones already have a profession, and the younger ones are ready to graduate, and they're going on to, obviously excel in their careers.
We met Miriam and Elsie at Puerto Rico's Cafe in Kissimmee.
The most important thing, besides that the Lord is there, is education. We got to spell it out. E-D-U-C-A-T-I-O-N. Education. Our youth, they need it. If you don't get it, it's like stopping your heart. Financial aid, a lot of people criticize it, but guess what? We got kids that need, the parents are working by themselves, okay? And they need the help so the child could go forward in life. My vote is going to Hillary Clinton. To me, she got her head on her shoulders.
Donald Trump, for me, I see him as a clown. He just wants to make people laugh. He has no heart for the disabled and for the needy and for the poor.
Lisbeth Martel's family owns this restaurant.
Well, if we're looking at the recession about 5 years, 6 years ago, the economy is a lot better. And I see it in my friends. The ones who are willing to work the extra mile and work a little bit harder are the ones who are better financially. It is about hard work.
But if they're not enthusiastic about supporting Clinton, she'll have a hard time overcoming the strong retiree support for Trump here.
Hillary's situation for me, being a woman, it would have been amazing. I mean, personally, I would have thought that she would have been a great, great president. But, coming with all these trust issues is, it's disappointing. It's very disappointing.
She's still undecided, but won't vote for Trump.
Gracias. Honesty, integrity, I don't see that right now. We're going to do this, but once they get into office, they forget about the community. The people that got them up there is what they forget about. No, I'm not planning on going to vote.
We need in office someone that is Christ-like, someone that knows the value of Christianity and of human beings, and definitely neither one of them had to show me that they do have that.
So what about Cuban Americans, a group that makes up about 30% of eligible Hispanic voters in Florida? Not long ago, it was reliably red.
Cuba is a communist country. And as I was telling the girls, anything that turns a little bit to the left, I have a problem with that.
But now it's a voting bloc that's moving more and more blue, with younger Cuban Americans eligible to vote. 44% now lean Democratic. That's twice as many as in 2002.
I believe in hard working, honestly. When I first came here to this country, there was no Medicare, no welfare, no nothing. It was 3 jobs, Monday through Friday, evening and weekends. I worked 3 jobs.
Miguel and Maria Garcia moved to the United States in the early 1960s following the Cuban Revolution. You can see the generational divide in their family, split right down party lines.
I have a lot of reservations about both nominees.
This year is a tough year.
I'm not having such a tough time. I think there's an overwhelming number of issues with Mr. Trump for me.
I have problem with Trump in the sense of the filter here, if it's working. The way he has talked to people, is denigrating, you know, it's not the proper way to talk to people. On the other hand, with Hillary, I honestly don't trust her.
I really think that if it wasn't for your fear of communism, you would be a Democrat, because you believe in everybody having equal opportunity.
I saw it in Cuba. People didn't have incentive because the government were giving them everything. Okay, I know we have to leave some part to help because there is always a need to help. I'm not
and this is what I think is hysterical. These two people right here,
that's what I was just
are
gonna say.
the biggest helpers that you ever want to meet.
Republicans help too. I mean
97-year-old Grandma Maria has cast her ballot for many Republican candidates over the years, but not this time.
¿Quieres saber qué tú piensas de Donald Trump?
¿De quién?
De Donald Trump.
De trompeta.
¿Pero por qué? ¿Qué tú crees?
Porque está loco.
The Garcia women, here in 4 generations, told us education is what matters most to them.
education is the only thing that you travel with. That's the only thing no one can take away from you.
Florida, with its changing demographics, clearly remains in play. But who can play their hand better here? Each vote matters, especially here. Remember 2000, when this state was decided by just 537 votes.